Yes, you guys, what you're saying, I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV, and welcome back to another news daily video. Now, I'll be focusing on 3 stories today. They're going to be on some exclusive news I'm hearing about Bakayoko. I'm going to be speaking about the latest updates in regards to Timo Werner and Kai Havertz. So this is going to be another informative video, you guys. It's going to be a busy day for content. There will be a second video released too, and potentially a Q&A live stream depending on how my day is going. So you guys, it's going to be a big day. Before I get into things though, I want to quickly remind all of you that if you're still interested in getting any club merchandise, the home kit, the away kit, the third kit, now's the best time, you guys, honestly. Crazy sales on the club's official mega store, and to make your lives even better and easier, if you use my affiliate link below, you will get a further 10% discount off if you use the code NINI10 at discount. So I got you guys. It's your final time to get the best possible price. I've used it already. I got myself a few things coming on the way soon, so it's happy days. But you guys, on that point, we now move on to the first story today, and that's the latest in regards to Bakayoko. Now, Bakayoko has been a very interesting story. I'm sure that all you guys have seen the latest reports suggesting that West Ham are currently leading the race to the player's signature. I'm sure that you guys have read reports in regards to us doing a potential swap deal involving Bakayoko, maybe Michy Batshuayi for Declan Rice. You know, these things are all hypotheticals. They're not really based in reality. I'm not saying that those reports were fake or wrong. You know, in this industry, you guys, from my personal experience with just like doing news for such a long time, a lot of times information is normally old. It could be like a week old, 2 weeks old, even possibly months old. And most times, because this is an industry which is focused around making profit, a lot of times those stories will be used at a later future date. I'm here to tell you guys that currently, as in immediately at this point in time, the club in the running to sign Bakayoko is Paris Saint-Germain. I've been told that Bakayoko's reps and agents are going to Paris to hold talks with Paris Saint-Germain. It's obvious that Bakayoko wants to remain in that country. He wants to be playing Champions League football. Bakayoko will be thinking about the Euros. If you're playing for Paris Saint-Germain, playing in their midfield, playing alongside Mbappe, Neymar, etc., that will boost your hopes exponentially at representing your country at next year's Euros. So that is currently what's happening right now. Let's hope that our asking price isn't going to be too mad. What I'm hearing, obviously, like when you calculate Bakayoko's costs and price, when you amortize this deal, technically we can make profits over 18 million. So as long as we're not being too greedy, not demanding too much, not wanting like 40, 30 million, I personally feel like maybe a deal of like maybe 25 million with bonuses and clauses on top could potentially get that deal done. You know, this is an exciting development, you guys, because we do know that currently any players that will be sold, the money made from them will be reinvested into new targets, into different targets. And with the big window we're planning, you guys, we need all the money we can get. We'll be in such a good financial situation now and in the future as well. So things are looking very bright. Let's see if Bakayoko gets that move to Paris Saint-Germain. Now we move on to Timo Werner, the latest updates in regards to the signing. An article was released late last night by none other than Matt Law from The Telegraph, and he provided more insight and more context in regard to the deal that the entire fan base is literally on their knees for. You guys, he's going to be our player. I think earlier today in a press conference, you know, Nagelsmann, the RB Leipzig manager, confirmed that it looks like Werner won't be here for next season. So I think that tells us everything we need to know. However, getting back to the news that Matt Law released, he's saying that there's a few more technicalities and difficulties. Those difficulties are RB Leipzig aren't currently part of the stock exchange, meaning that both clubs, us and them, can find a mutually beneficial date to announce the deal. I guess when clubs are put on the stock market, you know, they have to appease their shareholders. Of course, the valuation of the club could be affected by, you know, one of the club's best player effectively leaving. So it is good to know that Leipzig not being part of that won't affect this deal anymore. Currently, the talks between us and Leipzig are only in regards to the structuring of this deal. The structuring implies the legalities behind the contract, for example, behind how we're going to pay off the deal over time, medicals, and the payment structure for this deal as well. We already know that Werner has officially agreed contract terms with us already, so we don't have to negotiate with that whatsoever. All we have to do right now is just wait bide our patience. And if you're asking me, I have a feeling that maybe his announcement might be made at a future point where, you know, let's say the Bundesliga season is over and then the signing will be announced afterwards. But don't hold me to that too strongly, guys. I also believe that there could be a possibility that once these legalities and technicalities are sorted between both clubs, then I feel like we might just announce the deal anyway. So it seems like we are going to get the official announcement on the club's website very, very soon, within this month. And of course, once this signing is officially announced, you guys know where to go to, Blue Lines TV, to get the full breakdown. Now you guys, we end with the final report today, and that's in regards to the Kai Havertz update. Now, I told you guys to brace yourselves because this Havertz deal was going to take time. It wasn't going to be concluded anytime soon, and that's because there's a lot of competition from across Europe, from the biggest clubs across Europe, to sign Kai Havertz. You know, Kai has to spend his time making sure he's picking the best possible outcome because, you know, he has to think about his immediate present and also the future of whatever club he signs for. Anyway, you guys, today's reports are suggesting that the valuation between us and Leverkusen is literally miles apart. Leverkusen are in a very strong position right now. They've announced publicly that they aren't desperate to have to sell Havertz in this window, and if you're asking me, Leverkusen don't want to show any weakness. Of course, one of their prized assets, one of the best young players in Europe, is going to command the attention and attraction of the best clubs in the world. And just because we're making the first contact, we're making the first steps, we're trying to get in front of the line to secure the signing, does not mean that we're going to get any different bonuses or benefits from that. If you're asking me, I feel like Leverkusen are trying to encourage a bidding war. We know there's interest from United, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid and us. Currently at this point in time, it seems like Leverkusen's valuation is over £90 million. However, we've set up the initial talks with an opening bid of £54 million. That's still a big bid. And normally negotiations like this, obviously you start small, you work your way up. You're not going to just show all your cards immediately because Leverkusen could take advantage of that and use that for their own personal benefit. I'd be curious to know what the final price and fee could be for this deal. I'm hoping it's around the 70-75 million range. So I do feel like both parties could come to an arrangement and agreement in the end. Let's just hope that we maintain this aggressive, confident approach to get this deal done. Because if you make a signing like Kai, that is a big statement. You are telling all your rivals in this country domestically and across Europe that you are going to go back to the top. You are willing to fight to get back to the top. And I think that this would act as an even bigger confidence booster. You know, for me, when it comes to Kai Havertz, he has to think very seriously about the long-term implications for whatever club he eventually decides to sign for. He has to think about his immediate present, how he's going to play, how he's going to be used, how the football and the system is going to get the very best out of him. And he needs to think about how these clubs that sign him might be in the distant future. You know, when I think of Manchester United, can we confidently say that in the next 3 years, they will definitely be challenging for titles again? I'm not too sure. When it comes to clubs like your Bayern Munich as well, who are going after your Sanes and prioritising right backs too, Real Madrid that are stacked in this area as well. Yeah, I do feel like we do have that advantage, not only with our football, not only with our manager, but most importantly, that environment. I think Lampard is building a very young and hungry team that will only get better as the years progress, as they play more games together. You know, we can't forget football is a team game. The best teams are the teams that have all their players absolutely synchronized to a T perfectly. And once you play as a team amazingly well, you don't even necessarily need like 11 world-class players for each position. I feel that Havertz's short-term and long-term ambitions would most definitely be met at this club. Being coached by an absolute legend who understands what it takes to get to that level, who was a goal-scoring mid himself, I just think that education-wise, Havertz would get everything he needs if he was to sign for us. But anyway, you guys, that's going to be me for today. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. How are you feeling? Are you feeling confident that we can wrap up a deal for Havertz? I'll be releasing another video joined by a very special guest in Alex Goldberg. You guys don't want to miss that. It'll be out later this afternoon too. So on that point, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. Thank you for watching. I'll be the FC. This is Blue Lines TV. I'll see you guys later with some more videos.